Okay, so how to deadlift. And this is where I want to start off with you guys and show you a couple pointers here so you guys can have a better deadlift. So the first thing to having a safe deadlift with good form, I would say, is making sure that you, first of all, are hydrated and you're ready to lift. Like, that should go without saying, right? Be hydrated and ready to lift. Maybe take some pre-workout if you need. Have a gut belt if you are planning on going heavy in weight. Or something like that, right? But most of all, if it is your first time deadlifting, what you really want to do is pay attention to form and do your best to get it right each and every rep, because you have to build in a bit of a muscle pattern that your muscles remember, a little bit of muscle memory thing. So anyway, so the first step is lining up in the bar. How do you do that? Well, you find the center of the bar here, which is in between the knurling here and the knurling here. So it's just the smooth part right there. And you step up to the bar with your feet about shoulder width like that. Bar right over the middle of my foot. So what is the middle of your foot, you may ask? Well, the middle of your foot isn't just the middle of the portion that you can see visually when you look down. Remember that you have a heel too. So when a power lifter or a coach or maybe somebody that knows what they're doing tells you to deadlift from the middle of your foot, they literally mean this portion right there. That is about the middle of my foot. If you draw a line straight up, it's right next to my shin right there is the middle of my foot. So when I line up next to the bar and I tilt my head down and look down, I want to see this bar right here about on the middle of my foot. Just like that. And then I want my feet about shoulder width apart. So after I've got that stance, I want to take a deep breath and I want to reach down and grab the bar. But you want to kind of grab the bar in a certain way that works, or a technique that will allow the bar to not slip out of your hands. And there's a few techniques you can do. So I'm going to give you guys a basic, which is like an over-under. If you're not a power lifter, this should work great for you. Or if you want to just do double overhand, I usually pull that way with straps, and I think it works great. It's just the most comfortable, and I don't really have to worry about a helicopter when the bar twists at the top of the movement. But an over-under is basically where you have a hand on the top side of the bar like this and on the bottom of the side of the bar like this, and then you grab. So let me show you what that looks like. So I got a hand on the top right there, and then I bring that hand on under, and I want to bring it here to the middle of my palm, and then I want to grab, and then the middle of my palm and grab, and as I stand up and twist, they should be locked in there nicely. So that is a good solid way to get a good grip right before you pull the bar off the ground. So let's go back. You line up to the bar, you make sure the bar is in the middle of your foot, you want to take a deep breath and fill your lungs and chest, and then flex your abs. Make sure your feet are in the correct position. Obviously before you took that breath, reach down, grab the bar with an over-under hook grip, and then when you are lined up like this, you want to lean back, look up, and pull. So let's see that from a side view. So why don't you stand like right over there? So okay, side view right here. So what I'll do is I'll step up to the bar here. I'll take a deep breath, reach down, hook, sit my butt down, pull up. So another tip for you guys is, as I grab the bar, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to flex my lats and keep my chest up, and my back, I want it nice and straight. I don't want to arch my back over in any way, because that puts me in a more risky place to get injured if I start arching and tilting my back. You do see higher level powerlifters doing that a little bit, but trust me, they have enough muscle to back it up, if that makes sense. I know. Anyway, so what I'm saying here is you want to flex your lats as you pick up the bar. Just trying to rewind back to this. And so we're in the position where you got your feet under the bar and you got the bar in your hand. What I want you guys to do is flex your lats so you tighten your back more, keep your chest up, and then I want you to put your butt down and sit back into the movement. And what that looks like is like this. So I'm sitting back. line up to the bar, grab the bar, and then you want to sit back into it. So I'm chest up, back straight, and leaning back. And when I come back down, reverse with the bar. Here, come stand over here. Get a little closer to me. So when I stand back down and set the bar onto the ground, I just want to do the opposite of that same motion. So the idea here is to, this sounds terrible, is to grab the bar, flex your back, keep your back nice and straight, keep a nice pressure, a big breath, flex abs in your waist. You want to be as tight as possible, grab the bar, and you basically want to pull it straight up, dragging up your shins like it were to cut up your shins, pull it over your kneecap and onto the thighs and push your hips forward for the lockout. You don't necessarily have to pull it and rub the skin off of your shins. I'm just saying, to get you in the correct deadlift position, it's important that your bar path is literally that close to your shins. You want that bar right up there, right over the kneecap to the lockout. So let me show you again, if you haven't seen by now, what that looks like. Stand there right there. You get it? Get it?
Yeah.
So you guys see at the end there, I'm really pushing my hips forward. And my arms are not being flexed. If you can kind of imagine your arms just being like ropes, the main muscles you're trying to activate here is your hamstrings, your glutes, your back, your calves. Okay, maybe not so much calves, but the deadlift is a full body movement, so it will tax your body quite a bit, you guys, if you are going heavier and heavier and heavier in weight. It is a great mass builder movement. To get stronger at a deadlift, I would suggest doing tons of pyramid sets, which is where you work up to a heavy single or a heavy double or a heavy triple, and then you go back down in weight, or you get a program and you do like 5x5s, 4x4s, whatever your coach has you on, and you stick to that. Or if you deadlift, you guys, I suggest you deadlift responsibly and practice good form and try to keep that over your ego. Every bro wants to lift more and more weight, and that's not always the answer. Sometimes lifting less weight to lift more weight later on is the better path to take. So if you have any questions on form, comment below or go look up another video. Obviously there's tons of these out there, but the main things, you guys, is deadlift from the middle of your foot. Remember, that's right here in the shin, that is the middle of your foot. So you want to have the bar lined up on the middle of your foot right there when you look down. The second thing, you guys, is take a big deep breath, fill your lungs up, keep your core nice and tight and flexed, and then when you bend down, to flex your lats. The third thing is to lean back into your deadlift and to keep your chest straight and your back straight. And lastly, you guys, is don't ego lift. At least, you know, try not to. It definitely can lead to injury, but you got to test the parameters sometime. And if you don't go for that PR, you may never get a chance to do it again. So just my suggestion to you guys is just try to have calculated risk with the deadlift. It is a pretty important movement, but people do get injured. It's not a bad movement. I would definitely recommend the deadlift for anybody to try. And I've dragged this on way too long, you guys. Spencer D, and don't forget to subscribe. We got more videos coming out every week, and more fitness tips. And if you just want to join the journey, I would love to start interacting and chatting with you. I got an Instagram. I'm at Spencer D3X. You can find me there, and pretty much on that all day long. So hit me up. Spencer D. I'll see you in the next video. So I'm actually gonna hit a set real quick. My strap's on.